Close to 50,000 young maidens will descend on the Amazulu Royal Palace of Enyokeni in KwaNongoma this weekend. They'll be part of the annual reed dance hosted by Amazulu King Misuzulu Kazwelithini. It'll be his second reed dance ceremony in as many weeks. The first was held in Ngwavuma, north of the province, and to help us unpack today's proceedings, we are joined via Zoom by retired lecturer and cultural expert, Mr. Ntshangase. Mr. Ntshangase, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning to you and to your viewers as well.
It certainly is a big day for the Amazulu nation and Amazulu royal household. And earlier on, we've seen our colleagues speaking to the thousands of the maidens, and you would see, the jubilation and the excitement on their faces, and they bear it all, saying that they're actually proud of being a Zulu maiden. And this has been a long-standing practice in the Zulu culture. So let's talk about the significance of this day.
Yes. Maybe let's begin by the definition of this Zulu, the reed dance, which I'm going to refer, by the way, to it as Umkhosi Womhlanga. When I say Umkhosi Womhlanga, I'll be referring to the so-called the reed dance. Right. And what is Umkhosi Womhlanga in actual fact? Umkhosi Womhlanga is ceremony. Yes, Umkhosi Womhlanga is a ceremony which seeks to celebrate the origins of human beings in this world. And in addition, it is also a prayer directed to God, thanking Him for the perpetuation of the human beings. It is in addition as well, it is also a prayer where God is requested to grant everlasting protection and to these people so that they live their lives happily. That is the gist of Umkhosi Womhlanga. So, as we have said, that people then seems to be happy and so forth. Indeed, they've got to be happy because not only then it is a prayer, also it presents an opportunity for them, the people, to highlight their culture and to identify themselves, their identity as well, who they are. Like we have said, they are very proud of being Zulu nation because these types of ceremony, which is Umhlanga, Umkhosi Womhlanga, by the way, is a sacred, in a way, sacred ceremony. The other question that perhaps may arise here is, why do girls then carry this Umhlanga? Why don't they carry other type of vegetation, grass and so forth? Well, they carry Umhlanga to indicate that the first ancestors originated from a reed bed. In other words, they originated from a place full of reed. And as a result, therefore, like I've said earlier on, they are now celebrating that the originality of the very same people. And in addition, one may also ask, why girls? Why not boys? Why girls? Why not boys? Well, originally, female species symbolize the perpetuation of that particular species that we're talking about. Therefore, the girls were chosen to carry the reed because they symbolize the perpetuation of human beings. And again, when these girls are old enough, they will receive a seed from a man, and they will turn this seed into an embryo into a child. So this means the perpetuation of doing that. The boys cannot do that, cannot germinate the seed into an embryo. So that's why then it was girls that were chosen to carry Umhlanga.
Now, Mr. Ntshangase, help us, if you can, to establish the link between Umhlanga or the reed and sexual abstinence by girls. I mean, how do these two correlate?
Exactly. Like I've said, this is a sacred ceremony. So we are talking here about the girls that are virgins. That is purity on its own. So the girls are chosen for this ceremony because they are virgins, and it is also it is for the purity. You cannot do a sacred with a people, such an important sacred ceremony with people which are not purity. It is for that reason that the girls were chosen to carry this rite, because it's a purity in this case that is important.
So they have to undergo virginity testing before taking part in the reed dance. Is that what you're saying?
In a way, no. Let me put this one correctly. The virginity testing.
Because I'm basing my question on what you said, that they are chosen and they don't voluntarily attend the reed dance.
No, if they are chosen in this case of they are chosen to do this because they are virgins to start with.
Okay.
If I'm saying they are chosen, well, as you have said yourself here, you said about 50,000 of them. In actual fact, there are more than 50,000 girls who would like to be part of this. Mm-hmm. But in terms of the regions where they come from, they are chosen to represent even the other girls that could not come. Now let's talk about this virginity testing itself. The virginity testing is not done solely because the girls will attend Umkhosi Umhlanga. It is something that is done in their respective areas where they come from. There are mothers who are old enough, they are called onomel, which will then gather the girls in their respective areas and do this virginity testing. And it's a continual thing. Sometimes they will do it each and every time after 3 months, and then after 3 months they do it in the gate. Hence, when it is Umkhosi Umhlanga, then the very same girls then who go to these initiation schools where the virginity testing is done are the ones, therefore, who are expected to go Umkhosi Umhlanga, but not all of them. A certain number of girls will be chosen from that region and so forth and so forth. Hence, they make the number 50 or even more, or some plus or minus 50, like you were saying. I hope I'm clear now.
Yeah, much more clearer. Let's talk about the relevance of this ceremony, because I know that in 2022 the modern era girls are much more liberated, are much more radical and radical-minded. So do you think they are participating just for the experience to be a part of it? And, do you think those who are shying away from this ceremony is a result of what I've just articulated?
Well, it is a choice for themselves to participate in this. Let's begin by that. They are not forced by any other person, and they are not forced by any other person even to go the virginity testing in their respective areas. So it is their own choice. Up until now, we have never had any group of girls which were saying, no, we were forced to attend this. I'm talking about virginity testing. And then, so it is their own choice. Two, when it comes then to the Umkhosi Umhlanga, in fact, most of them, if not all, they would like to be part of this. It is again their choice that they want to participate into this one. And they know the norms as well, how to behave if you are there at Enyokeni, where the ceremony is normally held. And they know also, they respect those, the ornaments that I've spoken about. In other words, the mamas who are looking after these girls and so forth. So there is nothing, according to my understanding, that is forced upon them when it comes to this.
Okay, Mr. Ntshangase, this is a very, very interesting conversation. Now, close to 50,000 young maidens are ascending on the AmaZulu Royal Palace of Enyokeni in KwaNongoma this weekend. They are part of the annual reed dance hosted by the AmaZulu King, Zulu It will be his second reed dance ceremony in as many weeks. The first was held in Ngwavuma, north of the province. And to help us unpack today's proceedings, we still have on the line, or on Zoom rather, retired lecturer and cultural expert Ndela Ntshangase. Thank you so much for staying with us.
You are welcome.
Now, just continuing in our conversation with regards to the relevance of the reed dance ceremony and, the take of other cultural and socio-political organizations. For instance, the World Health Organization has said that the cultural practice of virginity testing and ultimately the redone ceremony is actually unscientific, harmful to young girls, and is a violation of young girls' rights. What is your take with regards to how such organizations view cultural practices?
I believe the people who are practicing this, these Zulu people, they do have a choice of their own. Like I have emphasized earlier on, that this is done by choice. So they are at liberty as well. If it works for them, this virginity testing, then so be it. I don't think it is fair for someone who is far away as the organizations that we are talking about. Sometimes we have never done any research, or perhaps we're not aware that they've done any research or as such, that this is not good. So, but the people themselves, they do have a choice. It is within their right as well, if they want to practice this, their culture. So let them do that. And even in the Constitution of South Africa, the culture, it is also allowed that each and every nation or tribe, if they want to practice their cultural thing and the religion, it is also allowed. So I don't think, therefore, that people should worry much about them if they say whatever they want to say. In my opinion, they don't know much more what is the importance of this virginity testing. It is not only the virginity testing that is an issue here. Also, the children, or rather the young girls in their respective areas, they are also taught how to behave well. They are given some advices. They are told where to refrain, abstain from doing this one you may do, so that you become a very, very good mothers when you are old. I think there's nothing wrong with that, because it is within their right and within their choice if they want to do that.
All right, Mr. Ntshangase, and we're still in conversation with our cultural expert there, Mr. Ntshangase. Mr. Ntshangase, I want you to pick up on this conversation that Jade had with that cultural expert with regards to the traditional regalia and the significance of the different colors of the maidens, traditional regalia. As we've heard, the white beads signify purity. We've seen other colors like yellow, red, blue, and so on and so forth. Is there a particular significance to the colors of the outfits?
Yes, there is as well, but not all the colors as well.
Okay.
But let us rather emphasize the color white, which she correctly said this one symbolizes purity. Mm-hmm. When it comes to colors, of course, people are at choice to choose the colors that they like. It's just like the dress code as well. It is not all the same. You may find that in a particular region, like where Kopo people are staying, they may choose their own colors. And you go to Newcastle as well, they may choose their own colors and so forth. So it's to blend. The colors here are here mainly for beauty. That's what they signify. Like she has just said, but white color signifies purity. Maybe before that, maybe we need to look as well, if you agree, what is this other significance of Umkhosi Womhlanga?
Yes.
What it is, why it is there. Then in my take on this one, I will say, Umkhosi Womhlanga provides a platform for His King Majesty, the King, which I'm going to refer as Isilo, to address current social ills, and not only social ills as well. It also provides for him and the elders as well, maybe to thank the girls for their good behavior and also give them some relevant advices. Not only that, it provides him with a platform as well to also, let's talk about the gender-based violence, which he did in the previous one. And then he emphasized of this one that it must come to a stop. And also the teenage pregnancy, he may decide to do that as well, to address it. And also crime and substance abuse, he may decide to do that. Or in any other thing, it may be a notice that we need to know and so forth, something. So it provides a very good platform for him, Isilo. Mm-hmm. If I may go any further than that, as well as Umkhosi Womhlanga, we, in our opening remarks here, we did speak about the unity.
Yes.
It unifies the people as well. It also gives them the sense of belonging as well, that now, and also the pride concerning their culture, that they are very happy with the culture, like Umam Nomakuke just said. So those are the things, those are the significance of Umkhosi Womhlanga. And I was just highlighting some examples here.
Yeah, Mr. Ntshangase, it's quite interesting that you've touched on the issue of unity. Sure, in as much as the whole cultural practice brings about unity and unifies the Zulu nation, but not particularly so for the royal household, because we do understand that the opposing faction, the faction opposing King Misuzulu's throne, we actually wanted to use Enyokeni, saying that King Misuzulu never actually lived there, and Enyokeni belongs to Prince Ntshangase. So why is the venue so important? Because if it's held kwaKhangela Mangengane, it means something else for that particular faction, and Enyokeni Palace, it means something else. And I know that in the Swazi Reed dance, El Tsitsine royal residence is like the traditional stronghold for the traditional authorities there. And a couple of weeks later, the Reed dance moves moves down south to Eshisoleni region, which is very important for the different chiefs around that area. So why is a venue so important? Is there a significance to where the Reed dance is held?
Yes. Maybe let's begin by saying that you said the royal family, there seems to be some divisions within that. Maybe in my take on this one, I don't think we should worry more about that, because each and every time when a position of a king or a position of a bishop, a position of being a political president and so forth is about to take place, you see these commotions. But nonetheless, as soon as the person, in this case, it appears as if King Isilo Misuzulu is going to be the one, then all those divisions within the royal family will just disappear. The way in which I say this is just like the household of the Zulu people. It's just like the sea. The sea, sometimes you'll see the river, like the river Umkomazi, during the floods, it will come in dirty into the sea, and so you can see even the sea that it is dirty. But 2 days or so, then the sea will be able to purify itself. Similarly, with Ndlunkulu, that's what we expect. As soon as all this, then they will become one again. Then coming further then to this, what your other point, if you may remind me?
Like, why is it important holding the Reed dance ceremony in a particular venue or in a particular palace? Historically,
ever since this was revived in the early 90s by the previous king, Isilo Uzwelithini Kabheka Zulu, they have chosen Enyokeni for this particular ceremony.
Okay.
Then for them, I believe, they still see that it is still current, because historically, that's where this Enyokeni is used for such a thing. You have said in Swaziland, sometimes they shift this. No, as well as Zulu people, the Zulu people are also doing that. In your opening remarks, you said the first one, which was held by King Misuzulu Isilo, was done at Ingwavuma.
Yes.
Through your mouth, that is not Enyokeni. And we may not aware, but we are aware that in some other places, in preparation for this, the other chiefs will hold this Umkhosi Womhlanga in their respective region or in respective area. I am aware of the area of the region called Herigwala, where they will do this in preparation for this. That's where, in actual fact, they even nominate the girls that are going to go to this main one. So it's not true that all the Umkhosi Womhlanga, except for this main one, will be held in Enyokeni. The smaller ones are held in their respective areas as well.
All right, Mr. Ntshangase, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. We do appreciate your time.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a retired lecturer and cultural expert Ntshangase, just sharing with us his cultural wisdom around the ongoing reed dance in Enyokeni Royal Palace in Nkwanongoma.
All right, such an eye-opener.